What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Take a look at what is happening here on Russian state TV. If you've been watching my channel, Russian state TV is similar to what German state TV was during World War II, and it actually is similar to what Chinese state TV is now. It's controlled by the government, what is said there. So, Russian state TV, nobody can just go on there. It's literally controlled by the government. Check this out. Yeah, so Russian state TV issues ominous warning. Berlin, Paris, and more will be ours. I'll show you that here in this video, as well as North Korea hackers actually hack Russia. Yeah, so Russia actually gets hacked themselves for once. And it's a very important one, and this is crazy because North Korea hackers raid a Russian hypersonic missile manufacturer. And what's really crazy about this is this comes right after a Russian defense minister just visited North Korea to buy weapons. And this actually happened. Here's the picture of Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu was given a personal tour of Kim Jong-un's personal offices and stuff to potentially buy North Korean weapons. So right after this happened, North Korean hackers hacked a Russian missile manufacturer. I know, you can't make this stuff up. But take a look at what happened here. Yeah, so Russia's defense minister is in North Korea to secure weapons, said Secretary of State Antony Blinken. And this actually happened because they released footage of it. There's pictures of it. Russian Sergei Shoigu this week was given a personal tour of Kim Jong-un's weaponry and was the first trip by Moscow's top defense official since the breakup of the Soviet Union. So it's been quite a while. The rare visit to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the Korean War armistice saw Mr. Shoigu pledge to boost military ties as he praised the North Korean military as, quote, the most powerful in the world. Now, I wouldn't go that far. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments, but that's what North Korea is saying. In reference to Mr. Shoigu's visit, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said, I strongly doubt he's there on holiday. We're seeing Russia, quote, desperately looking for support for weapons wherever it can find them to continue to prosecute its aggression against Ukraine. Quote, we see that in North Korea. We see that as well with Iran, which has provided many drones to Russia that it's using to destroy civilian infrastructure and kill civilians in Ukraine, which obviously has been happening. North Korean state media described the meeting as, quote, friendly talks, with photos showing Kim walking the Russian defense minister through a vast exhibition space showcasing the North's nuclear missiles, some which are capable of reaching the U.S. This comes as Ukrainian soldiers were observed using North Korean rockets that they claim were seized by a friendly country before being delivered to Ukraine, the Financial Times reported. It is believed that the first report, it is believed to be the first report showing that the use of North Korean arms by Ukraine against Russian forces. So these were seized by a friendly country and then given to Ukraine. The North Korea weapons were shown by Ukrainian troops operating Soviet-era Grad multiple launch rocket systems near the destroyed eastern city of Bakhmut. Ukraine's defense ministry suggested the arms were captured from the Russians. Quote, we captured their tanks, we captured their equipment. It is very possible that this is also the result of the Ukrainian army successfully conducting a military operation. Russia has been shopping around for different type of munitions in all kinds of tyrannies, including North Korea and Iran. Then North Korea turns around and hacks a Russian hypersonic missile manufacturer. Yeah. Hackers associated with the ruling regime of North Korea breached the computer networks of a missile developer in Russia, according to Reuters. Despite the outwardly friendly relations between the two countries, the cyber teams known as Scarcraft and Lazarus managed to raid the networks of NPO Mashinstroyina, or some type of Russian name, a rocket design company based near Moscow. It's not clear if any data was taken during the hack or what the hackers viewed. Though North Korea has been working to build their own intercontinental ballistic missile capable of hitting the mainland United States. The hack was discovered when an employee of NPO MASH, which has pioneered the development of Russia's hypersonic missiles and other technologies, accidentally publicly leaked his company's internal communications while attempting to investigate the hack. Nice job there, buddy. How the information was exposed was an absolutely hilarious screw up, said computer security expert Nicholas Weaver. Yeah, good job there, buddy. This comes as Russia State TV issues an ominous warning. Berlin, Paris, and more will be ours. Remember that Russian State TV is literally controlled by the state, the government of Russia. And if you've been watching my channel, you know I've shown several Russian State TV clips here before of things that they have said. And this is what they show to Russian citizens. This is what they're showing to the country of Russia, millions of Russians. Take a look at the latest clip of what they're showing to their own Russian people. Here we go.
Это будет только дальше, значит, развиваться, и мы будем все больше и больше приобретать ту роль, которую имела Российская империя. Я же не шутил в прошлой передаче, что, значит, и Берлин, и Дрезден, и Прага, и Любляна, все будет наше. Почему? Так было. Вы понимаете, вот мы когда зашли в Париж в 815 году, Берлин в 41-м, в конце 18 века, это не случайность. Россия самая великая страна в Европе, громадная сила.
Мы всякий раз оттуда уходили. Главный вопрос, зачем мы так безответственно относились к своим победам?
So I'll play it one more time and I'll kind of say what they're saying here. This will develop further and we will increasingly acquire the role that the Russian Empire had. I've said this before that I think that this is what Russia is trying to do. Put back the old Russian Empire, the old Soviet Empire, and acquire more land and maybe even put together even more. I didn't joke in the last program that Berlin, Dresden, and Prague, everything will be ours. Why? That's the way it was. You see, when we entered Paris in 1815, Berlin in 1941, at the end of the 18th century, this is not an accident. Russia is the greatest country in Europe, a huge power. Why did we leave every time? Why have we been so irresponsible in our victories? Well, you know, Russia didn't exactly, you know, leave on their own accord. These countries took back their own countries. They didn't, you know, Russia didn't just say, oh, hey, Russian propaganda is, well, Russian propaganda, just like Hitler didn't exactly, leave on his own accord, they were forced to leave. So you got to remember that, just like Hitler he took over all these countries, and well, they were forced to leave. So you got to remember here that same kind of thing here. If Putin was allowed to look at what they're saying on Russian state TV to millions of Russians, that they would take over all these different countries and all these different cities if they were allowed to. They're literally saying it to millions of people. They're literally saying it to the world right now. They're broadcasting this for the whole world to see, that they would go over and that they would take over France. They would go and then they would take over Germany. That they would take over Ukraine. They're literally saying it to you guys, to Russia and to the rest of the world. They would go over and start taking over all of Europe and maybe even more. This is exactly what Hitler did. He went and took over country after country after country, regardless of what the people in those countries wanted or thought. They didn't ask those people and their homes and the people there if they wanted to be part of Russia, or if they wanted to be bombed or had missiles dropped on their heads and dropped on their schools and dropped on their apartments and their playgrounds and their hospitals. No, Hitler just did it. And Putin's just doing it now. Putin just took over Crimea. He's dropping bombs on Ukraine on a daily and weekly basis. And now he's telling the world that he would do it on Paris and Berlin, Germany, and all these different cities and countries. He's telling the world that he would do it. And they've also leaked plans that they would do it to Moldova, and I can't even think off the top of my head, that they would do it to other cities as well, or countries as well. So, guys, if this doesn't remind you of Hitler, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's almost the exact same scenario. They want to take over country after country after country, and if they're not stopped, they would. They would. They would have already taken over all of Ukraine right now, which was 45 million people, and that they've already leaked plans multiple times to do it. It was Moldova and well, now this part of now this part of Poland, and you got to remember what's next. Paris, Berlin, France, all of the rest of the old part of Russia, Europe, Alaska. We've literally had Russian lawmakers that said they would take Alaska back because, they sold it to us in the 1800s. They could take it back at whatever point they wanted to. Yeah, in case you haven't seen this on my channel, top Russian lawmakers threatens that Russia may reclaim Alaska. So don't put it past Russia. This is the stuff that they talk about all the time, that they'll do stuff like this if they want to. So this is the stuff that they'll put back together, the old Russia, which includes stuff like Alaska. Why? Because they deem that it's rightfully theirs. Anything that's old Russia is theirs because they think so. You tell me, but this is the stuff that goes on in their heads. So, yeah, give me some rightful reason, and that this is what Russia comes up with. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything happening on a daily basis. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. It's completely free to do so. And hit the bell icon afterwards. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for hitting the like button and share these videos so other people can see this as well. Click here to see the big hack that Russians just made. Or click here to see Russia and China teaming up and literally coming towards Alaska. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.